Go to Tucson, my friend so dear. We gather today, it's crystal clear. From the streets of Congress to Mount Lemon's Peak, united we stand strong and sleek. Oh, Pueblo's pride, under the desert sun. From the barrios to the ranches, we are one. We walk hand in hand through the cactus and sand. Together we rise tall and grand. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Cavaliers, we unite. From dawn's first light to the calm of night. Through trials and triumphs, together we grow. Tucson's love forever we'll show.
Good morning, counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. This is
Yeah.
I'd just like to inform the court, we are still waiting for the first one, Michael Lowe, to come, so we're gonna stick to the two for now.
Okay, we'll go in whatever order that you wish to do today. Good morning, the person sitting there. Can I have your name, please?
Charlie Sanderson.
Okay, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on some new charges. Let me get those up. Let's change the order a little bit. You're here today on charges of aggravated assault and disorderly conduct. Does the state have a position on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a bond of $10,000 with pretrial service, and that will be based on the nature of the offense. The defendant utilized a knife. In addition, she left the scene, returned with the dangerous instrument, and the victim did sustain injuries. I do acknowledge she has no criminal history. Nonetheless, based on the nature of the offense and the concern about ongoing continued risk to the victim, that's the state's recommendation.
Attorney for the defendant?
Yes, she lives with her mother. She's a part-time student. Her mother said she can stay with her and that her mother will help her to get to court. She doesn't look like she has any real history. She's got no felony juvenile adjudications. We'd ask you released to pretrial services.
Thank you. I will note she's on juvenile probation. I am going to set a secured bond in the amount of $7,500 in this case. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including don't drive without a license, no alcohol, no drugs, no domestic violence, no firearms. If the bond is posted, she'll be supervised by pretrial services. She's not to have any contact with any victims, not to return to the incident location. I'm also appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent her in this matter. So, ma'am, your next court date is the 15th. If you post the bond, you will be released. Otherwise, you'll remain in custody until that date. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
Okay, good luck to you.
Talk to you later. Okay. What was this one? This is information about how you come to out of custody. Okay, so you'll talk to her later. Next week. Okay. Next.
Good morning. Can I have your name?
Michael James Al?
Mr. Lowe, you're here today because you have a warrant for your arrest out of, Justice Court. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes. Actually, I don't.
I'm
Well,
going
man.
to release you and give you a new court date of April the 15th at 9:30 and 8:30 in the morning in Justice Court. Standard release conditions will apply. So you're going to be released and your new court date is April the 15th at 8:30 in the morning. So you are being released. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. Got you, Chad.
Okay, sir, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on new charges of aggravated assault on a police officer, and you also have a charge out of the city of Tucson. Does the state have a position on this matter?
Your
I'm sorry, the county attorney, you dropped off. We can't hear you. Did we lose her?
Can you hear me better, Your Honor?
Yes.
My apologies. Your Honor, the state is recommending a $15,000 bond with pretrial service based on the nature of the offense, the status of the victim. Your Honor, it involves two separate deputies, both of which sustained injuries. The defendant is also pending a separate misdemeanor offense that he has failed to appear, and that will be the basis of the recommendation, Your Honor.
Ready for the defendant?
Judge, it appears he's got no prior felony criminal history, and, just a second. And otherwise, we rely on the information in the report.
All right, thank you. I'm going to set this matter for preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. here in Justice Court. I'm going to set a total bond in the amount of $2,500, cash secured. If bond is posted, released through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime, no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant. If bond is posted, he'll be released through pretrial services. So let's go on to your Tucson City Court case now. You have a case out of Tucson City Court for criminal speeding and some other charges. On those, I'm going to release you and set the matter for a video review on June the 6th at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court with standard release conditions. I am appointing the Office of the Tucson City Public Defender to represent you on that matter. So on your Tucson case, you are released. The other case, you'll have court on the in June. Good luck to you, sir.
What is this? What is this move?
This is your information of court, the conditions of release.
So for today, I need to. Is there anything I need to do
You have to postpone to that.
to get out today?
Yeah.
If not, then it's just a 24-hour.
No, then you're into it. What date? Postpone.
Which is
April 15th, 10 days. You'll talk to your lawyer. That's what you say.
I just came in on my birthday.
Okay. Are we done? Or it's? Sorry, you told me. All right. Here.
Oh, I didn't sign it? Ah. Darn it. Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, Desiree, Desiree Aisa Adagi.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on some new charges
Uh-huh.
in
I
just,
believe that's, oh, no, so sorry. My apologies. Go ahead.
you're here today on a criminal trespass charge, and you also have a charge out of the city of Tucson. On your Marana City case, I'm going to release you, give you a new court date in Marana on May the 7th. So you are going to be released. Standard release conditions will apply, including don't return to the scene of the crime, don't have any contact with any victims.
Mm-hmm. And also I have one question. For my warrant under the bond, I believe it's $200. My dad's paying it right now, so I don't know if you guys want him to pay it or if you want me to call him and tell him, never mind.
Well, why don't you let me work on it and we'll figure out what to do next.
No, my apologies. I'm sorry about that. I'm autistic and I'm just trying to learn.
Okay. All right, on your Tucson City warrant, I'm going to release you and give you a new court date of May the 12th at 9:30 in the morning in Tucson City Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with any other victims. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much.
All right, you're being released. Good luck to you.
Oh, thank you.
Rosina.
Zena Marja Fennec Funkis.
Yeah, hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on a charge of domestic violence assault. Do you understand why you're here today? Do you
Not really.
understand? Do you understand why you're here today?
Do I understand what my charge is?
Yes, that's what I'm asking you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm Judge Hazel. The purpose of this hearing is to conduct an initial appearance on your case. What I'm going to do is release you and give you a new court date. That new court date is going to be on April the 15th at 10:30 in the morning here in Tucson Justice Court in downtown Tucson. Conditions of release will be the following. No, don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Not to return to the scene of the crime and not have any contact with any victims. If you have property at that location, you can return with the police to get that property. And
Yes.
you are being released. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Lipscomb. Haven't seen that.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Michael Lipscomb.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today because you have a warrant out of Justice Court and you also have a warrant out of the city of Tucson. Do you understand why you're here today?
No, honestly.
Okay, well, you have warrants. I'm going to release you and give you a new court date on your Justice Court case on April the 21st at 8:30 in the morning in Justice Court in downtown Tucson. You must appear at that time or another warrant will issue for your arrest. Standard release conditions will apply, including no, don't commit any criminal acts, no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime.
What are the warrants for?
One is for shoplifting. Let me go on to the other one. And you also have a warrant for disorderly conduct, assault, criminal damage. Last year. George, I am going to release you. And give you a new court date of May the 8th at 9:30 a.m. in Tucson City Court.
Yeah.
So you're going to be released on all your cases, okay?
You said May 8th at Tucson City Court?
Yeah. We'll get a copy of that paperwork for you. You'll get paperwork for everything, all right?
Okay,
You have a good
thank
day.
you.
Morales. Morales.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Marcus Morales.
I am Joe Hazel.
Okay.
Here today on new justice court charges. Let's go over those.
Yes, sir.
You're here today on a charge of interfering with judicial proceedings. That means you contacted somebody that you weren't supposed to. I'm going to release you, give you a new court date of April 15th at 10:30 a.m. in Justice Court here in downtown Tucson. Standard release conditions will apply, including having no contact with any victims, don't go to their residence or their work. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll be released. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Roll.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Yes, Aspen Wolf.
Okay, you're here today because first you have warrants out of Justice Court for shoplifting and other charges. On your Justice Court case, I'm going to release you, give you a new court date of April the 15th at 9:30 in the morning in Justice Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including further conditions, no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime. So you are being released on your Justice Court case. Looks like you have some warrants out of the city of Tucson. Let me look at those and we'll go over those as well, all right?
Your Honor.
Looks like you have a warrant for criminal trespass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release you on this charge as well. And give you a new court date. That new court date's going to be May the 6th at 9:30 a.m. in Tucson City Court.
Okay.
Standard release conditions will also apply in those cases as well. You're going to be released. Make sure you make your court dates, okay?
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor.
And you have a good day.
Thank you as well.
Otra.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Amanda Cota.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. How are you today?
Good as I can be.
Okay, you're here today on a charge of disorderly conduct fighting. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes.
And that's out of Tucson City Court. I'm going to release you and give you a new court date of May the 6th at 1:30 p.m. Standard release conditions will apply, including don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence, and no firearms. So you are being released, but you must make your next court date. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Matthew Mugaray.
I am Judge Basil. You're here today on new Tucson City Court charges. Do you understand why you're here?
Yes, Your Honor.
What I'm going to do is release you, and those charges are disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you, give you a new court date of May the 6th at 1:30 p.m. in Tucson City Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with or remain law-abiding, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms, no alcohol. Do you understand those release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're going to be released. Just make sure you make your next court date, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Silva.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Anthony Manuel Silva.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of disorderly conduct, drug paraphernalia, failure to comply with a court order. I'm going to release you and give you a new court date of April the 21st at 10 a.m. in Tucson City Court in downtown Tucson. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact, remain law abiding, no acts of domestic violence, and no alcohol. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're going to be released. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Gracias.
Can I have your name, please?
Eduardo Valencia.
I am Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of disorderly conduct and assault, both domestic violence offenses. What I'm going to do is release you, give you a new court date of May the 6th, and direct that you appear in Tucson City Court at that time with standard conditions. Those conditions including no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime, no alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence. So you are going to be released. It looks like on the other case, you posted your bond, so you are being released. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Have a good day. Bias.
That one, the jail doesn't, but I have a signature.
Okay, I didn't sign it. 'Cause- Hi, can I have your name, please?
Arthur Zayas.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of assault, domestic violence, criminal damage, disorderly conduct. You understand why you're here today?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to release you. I'm going to give you a new court date of May the 13th at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court. You must appear at that time or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand? Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, don't commit any acts of domestic violence, and don't drive without a license, and always remain law abiding. Do you understand you're being released?
I understand.
You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
John Bates.
All right, I'm going to say, so you're here today because you have a warrant out of Superior Court in Maricopa County. You failed to appear. Judge set your bond at $1,000 cash. Does the state have a position on this matter?
Your Honor, the state would defer to the court being not a state warrant.
Attorney for the
My
defendant?
apologies, another county warrant.
Attorney for the defendant?
Yes, he's working part-time, and if released, he would, abide by all conditions and set up court hearing in Maricopa County.
Okay, thank you. What I'm going to do is affirm the bond amount of $1,000 cash as set by the judge in Superior Court. I'm going to direct Pima County or Maricopa County to make arrangements to transport. I'm going to set this for a review hearing on May the 5th to make sure that he's been transported. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with any victims, don't return to the victim's residence or work, with other standard conditions of no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms, and to remain law abiding. Sir, so if you post the bond, you will be released, but you must go to Maricopa County immediately and check in there, and they will assign you to a courtroom. If you don't post the bond, Maricopa County will pick you up and take you before a judge like myself, appoint an attorney for you, and give you a new court date. Any questions?
How fast do they come?
They come quite fast. I don't know the exact date, but they come quite quick. They do it on a very regular basis.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Burrito?
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Juan Gilberto?
Okay, you're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here today? It also looks like you have 10 warrants out of the city of Tucson. The state have a position on this matter?
Your Honor, the state is recommending a $1,500 bond with pretrial service for time credit based on his fails to appear new criminal activity while pending multiple warrants. In addition, Your Honor, it looks like he also has pending felony cases that are also on warrant status.
And it says he is steps eligible. What is your position on that?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear that.
It says he is steps eligible.
Oh, Your Honor, the state is recommending the steps court's hearing.
Okay. Attorney for the defendant.
Maribel, is he gonna get steps? He's already got 2 pending possession cases.
I'm just telling you what,
He's not on steps for. I'm just asking the prosecutor why he set a steps hearing if he wasn't eligible before.
I guess she doesn't have an answer. So do you want me to set one or no? Defense counsel?
No, Your Honor, if he was already rejected, then we're going to be facing the same issue. So thank you for that information and no steps hearings, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other recommendations from the defendant?
It looks like he's got 2 felony warrants out, so for his pending cases, so he's gonna be held even if he's released on this case. So we'd ask for a bond for time credit.
All right. I'm going to set a bond at $1,000. I'm going to set the matter. That'll be catch secured and if posted through pretrial services supervision. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no active domestic violence. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender in this matter. All right, let's go on to your Tucson City case, sir. I did indicate that you have a large number of holds out of Tucson City Court. What I'm going to do on your Tucson City case is I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $500 with standard release conditions. I am also appointing the Office of the Tucson City Public Defender to represent you in these matters. I'm going to set the following hearings. I'm going to set your matter for a video review on April the 15th at 1:45 p.m. If you are released, you must appear on May the 6th at 2:30 p.m. And I am appointing the Tucson Public Defender in that Tucson City case. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Deal.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Jose Luis Castillo, Jr.
Okay, you're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs, possession of dangerous drugs for sale, possession of drug paraphernalia. Does the state have a recommendation in this matter?
Your Honor, the state recommends a bond of $1,500 with pretrial service for time credit.
Okay. Attorney for the defendant.
Maribel, is he gonna get steps? He's already got 2 pending possession cases.
Your Honor, the state is recommending a $7,500 bond with pretrial service based on the nature of the offense, which it involves the transport and sales of the dangerous drug. In addition, the defendant does have a probation matter. He was just recently sentenced on February 13th of this year, and it's now also before the court with a new offense.
All right, thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Judge, he does have ties to the community. He's been in Tucson for at least 9 years. He did just get placed on probation, and there's likely to be a petition filed.
What I'm going to do is set this matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 PM in Justice Court. I'm going to set a cash secured bond in the amount of $5,000. If that bond is posted, he'll be released through pretrial services if he's eligible for release. Standard release conditions will be imposed in this case, including no firearms, no alcohol, no drugs. I'm also appointing the Office of the Legal Defender to represent the defendant in this. Good luck to you, sir.
You guys still need to contact probation, by the way. Okay.
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 Another one. The one that has like 3 different.
Yeah. It is. Yep.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Davis.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. The purpose of this hearing is today is an initial appearance. You're charged with felony or aggravated DUI for wrong way driving, endangerment, and criminal damage. Does the state have a recommendation in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $15,000 bond with pretrial service if bond is posted. The defendant is a continued risk to the community. Multiple victims were exposed. The defendant had a breath test of a 0.193 and a BAC of a 0.210. He was driving a runway, Your Honor, multiple victims exposed. Excuse me. There was a collision, and there was also fleeing from law enforcement. The defendant has 1 prior conviction and is facing mandatory prison if convicted.
Okay, thank you. All right, attorney for the defendant.
Yes, he's living with his wife, and he's employed full-time as a groundskeeper. His prior conviction was from 20 years ago, from 2005. And he doesn't have any felony arrests since then. And he doesn't have any prior DUIs.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th. I'm going to set a cash secured bond in the amount of $5,000. If it is posted, I will release through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including don't drive without a license, no alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms. And I am going to appoint the Office of the Legal Defender or the Public Defender to represent the defendant in this matter. Sir, your next court date is April 15th. If you post the bond, you must appear in court. If not, you'll be transported to your hearing. Good luck to you.
So I just.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Was it buried?
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Charity Elder Fulton.
Okay, you're here today on charges of unlawful possession of a narcotic drug for sale, 3 count. The state have a recommendation in this matter?
Your Honor, the state is recommending a bond of $10,000 with pretrial services. There's no known address for the defendant. We have a general delivery. She just recently ended a sentence on November of 2024. Now it's before the court on separate multiple narcotic sales. That's the basis for the recommendation.
Thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. Apparently she's homeless, and she certainly can't post that high of a bond. We would ask that you, if you're imposing bond, impose a lower bond than that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 PM in Superior Court. or in justice court, I'm sorry, I'm going to impose a $5,000 bond. That'll be cash secured if posted. Will be through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol, no drugs, no act of domestic violence, no firearms.
Oh.
I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant. Ma'am, your next hearing is April the 15th. If you post the bond, you'll be released but must appear in court. If you don't, you'll be seen at court at that time. Good luck to you.
Regalo.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Heriberto Cárdenas Grijalva.
Sir, you're here today on charges of
After
aggravated assault,
assault.
criminal damage, unlawful flight, and driving on a suspended license. Does the state have a position on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $35,000 bond with pretrial service. That will be based on the nature of the offense, Your Honor, multiple collisions, fleeing from law enforcement. There's also an altercation with law enforcement. In addition, the defendant is currently on probation in a separate case. There was also a collision with the power line. Excuse me.
Thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Just a second, Your Honor. I don't see that he's on probation. I'm looking at his criminal history. I don't see that he's on probation. He does live with his daughter and he's working full-time as a dishwasher.
Okay, thank you. The pretrial doesn't note that he's on probation either. I'm going to take the following action. I'm going to set a secured bond in the amount of $20,000 cash secured, if posted through pretrial supervision then. I'll set the matter for preliminary hearing on April the 15th. Your standard conditions for release will apply, including no contact with victims. Don't have any contact with the victims. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant in this matter. Has another case out of the court. Looks like a warrant for failure to appear on a suspended license. On that matter, I'm releasing him and giving him a new date of April the 15th.
No. Judge, he is on probation. I just wanted to, for the record, he had a consecutive probation to another case.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, good luck to you, sir.
So, I said probation probably gonna file a petition to probation.
Jackson.
Sir, can I have your name, please?
Stanley Jackson.
Okay, you're here today on charge of theft of the means of transportation, a warrant out of Superior Court. You failed to appear, and the judge set your bond at $5,000. Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending the bond requested on the arrest warrant. I also do know the defendant has another pending matter. It's also on probation when this offense was committed.
Attorney for the defendant?
He's being held without bond, so we'd ask that you set a bond for time credit.
I'm going to set a $5,000 bond cash secured if released through pretrial services, then supervision. Standard release conditions will apply. I'm going to set the matter for an arraignment on the April 11th at 1:30 p.m. Standard conditions will be don't drive without a license, no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms, no contact with any victims. I'm appointing the office of the public defender to represent the defendant in this matter. So, sir, on this matter, you have court on April 11th. You also have a warrant out of Bisbee Justice Court. I am going to release you on that one. And if you are released, direct you to appear on April the 22nd in Bisbee. It's a $100 warrant out of Bisbee. So I am releasing you on that charge. All right, you have court on April 11th, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Lopez.
Hi, can I have your name?
Commissioner Rosario Lopez.
You're here today on charges of, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs for sale and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes.
Does the state have a position on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $10,000 bond with pretrial service. The instant offense involves narcotic sales, actually a higher quantity as well. And the defendant is currently on probation for a separate case that is scheduled to end on 2026.
Thank you. Attorney for the defendant.
Yes, he's lived in Tucson for his whole life. He's self-employed as a driver. His PSA scores are very low. He is on probation, but it doesn't look like there's a hold at this time.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to set your matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. I am going to set your bond in the amount of $2,500. That'll be cash secured. If posted, you'll be released through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. I'm appointing the office of the public defender to represent you. It may be that the probation officer will be filing a hold on you. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about posting the bond, that you may not be released. But good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Ivan Mansell.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of possession of dangerous drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yeah.
Okay. Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $3,500 bond with pretrial service, time credit. The defendant is currently also on a warrant status on his probation violation case. He has 3 prior convictions, and I do know, Your Honor, it looks like he is also eligible for the Steps 4 hearing.
And it does show on my information that he's being held non-bondable on his probation violation. Does the defense counsel have a position?
Yes, we'd ask that you set a steps hearing and set a nominal bond. He is being held on probation hold at this time.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to do the following. I'm going to set this matter for a steps hearing on April the 14th at 9 a.m., a preliminary hearing on April 15th at 1:30 p.m. I am going to set a bond in the amount of $1,000 cash secured. If posted and he's released on his probation violation, it would be through supervision through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. And I am appointing the office of the public defender to represent the defendant. Good luck to you, sir.
Don't post the bond until you figure out what's going on with the other case. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Lopez. Yeah.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Daryl Nicholson.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, possession of drug paraphernalia, and use of an electronic device in a drug transaction. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes, sir.
Does the state have a position in this matter?
Your Honor, the state is recommending a bond of $10,000 with pretrial service, noting the risk to the community as this said narcotic sales, the quantities and missions, and also the defendant does have one prior conviction.
Attorney for the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor. His prior convictions from 2013, and that's his only conviction. He is, have ties to the community. He's lived here 18 years and he's working full time.
Okay, thank you. What I'm going to do is set a bond in the amount of $5,000, set this matter for preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. I'm going to make that a cash or secured bond. However, if bond is posted, he'll be released through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. And I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant in this matter. Sir, your next court date is April the 15th with your bond of $5,000. If you post it, you will be released, but you must appear in court. If you do not post it, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Okay, so am I being released?
No, it's not the post bond.
Which is it?
It's 5,000.
Which is 500.
If it's not the bond, that's how it was.
Thank you.
Long. Have a seat. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Counsel, can you announce for the record then?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thimios Kateros for Mr. Juan. He is present in custody, seated to my immediate right.
Okay, sir, you're here today charged with a felony charge of criminal trespass, and we also have a justice court case of assault and disorderly conduct. Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending release to pretrial service based on the defendant's lack of criminal history. In addition, per the information provided to pretrial service, the victim does not object, and they do not share residence.
All right, attorney for the defendant.
Thank you, Judge. Obviously, we don't have any failures to appear. We have family support. Judge, the victim has also asked that she's allowed to have contact.
Okay, well, she's on the video. We're going to talk to her next.
Yes. So I want to make sure that she understands that my client is not going to return to the apartment and the incident location. But if she wants to contact us, I don't see a reason why not. I just want to make sure that she will understand that my client and I will have to be very, very careful on what kind of contact that will be.
Okay. All right, and we have an alleged victim on this call. Is that right? Ma'am, if you could unmute yourself and give us your name.
Reagan, can you hear us?
*6 is how you unmute yourself. Ma'am, if you wish to be heard, you'll have to unmute yourself. Okay, obviously she hasn't connected. I am going to issue the following orders. I'm going to release him through pretrial services and give a new court date of April the 25th for a preliminary hearing. That'll be at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, commit no acts of domestic violence. I'm going to direct you not return to the incident location. For the purpose of this hearing, I know counsel you're retained, but I have to appoint counsel, so I'm going to appoint the public defender. And then obviously you can file a notice of appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So on that charge, he is being released. Let's go on to the justice court matter then. I am releasing him on that matter as well, giving him a new court date in justice court on April the 15th at 10:30 a.m. Standard release conditions will apply as well. Same as that I've applied in the other case. So, sir, you're being released on all cases. You must maintain contact with your attorney and follow the direction given to your attorney, by your attorney, so that you don't end up back in custody, okay? Good luck to you. You will be released. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor. Fine.
Hi, this is Reagan Coley. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, have a seat.
Yes, we tried to talk to you for the last 3 or 4 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, I was unmuted, but you got but it wasn't working. I kept saying, could you hear me? So I just called back.
Okay, all right. What would you like to say? I'm ordering he be released. I'm Judge Hazel. I'm ordering he be released. With the condition that he can contact you if you wish to have contact with him.
This is I just wanted to say that he's a great person. Like I know he didn't mean to do this, and I didn't mean for it to escalate this far whatsoever.
Okay. Well, he's already with
and-
us in the system, so the next step is
Yeah.
he has court dates, and if you can maintain contact with the county attorney, and the victim advocate will argue for you at that point or make your position.
Yeah, he's just he's a really driven person. He's in school to be a physician's assistant, and I did not mean to escalate it this far. Like I just wanted him to apologize about that. Like our emotions were really high, both of ours, and I feel really bad. I shouldn't have said anything. I feel like.
Okay, all right. Well, we know your position, ma'am. He'll be released later today, and if you'd like to have contact with him, that'll be between you
Yeah,
and him and his attorney.
Okay, and I know I can't directly do this, but if I can, I would like to drop charges against him, any and all charges.
I have no authority to do that, man. It's just initial opinion.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judge. So.
Hermano,
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Jose Esteban's mano.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on possession of narcotics, possession of dangerous drugs for sale, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Does the state have a position on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending 3,500 with pretrial service. Looks like the defendant has one prior conviction. He's a little bit older nonetheless. The main concern as well as to this case, Your Honor, the defendant is charged for transport and sales, but most importantly, the concern for the community safety as he was a slum driver when law enforcement responded to the scene.
Attorney for the defendant?
Yes, he has a low PSA score. His prior conviction is from 1988. He's a lifelong resident. He's on disability. We'd ask that you release him to the supervision of pretrial services.
All right, thank you. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 15th at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. I'm going to set a cash secured bond in the amount of $2,500. If that bond is posted, I'm going to direct that he be supervised through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Don't return to the scene of the crime. And I am appointing the office of the legal advocate to represent him in this matter.
Yes.
Sir, your next court date is April the 15th with a bond of $2,500. If you post it, you'll be released. Otherwise, you'll remain in custody until that date. Good luck to you, sir. Is there anything further from the prosecutor this morning?
No, Your Honor, thank you.